So welcome to our day 6 of our event, saying no to that in the world, that we as souls in female bodysuits say absolutely not allowed in our space, our family, our lives, or anywhere, actually, galaxy or Laniakea. So welcome to this day, and I know there are sisters who are gathering with us vicariously in circles within other groups. So although we're not here physically, we are here energetically. That's just how it is. So welcome to day 6. So first, let's set our intention and do that together, letting your breath bring your attention and focus here to the present moment. Your breath bringing that energy from beyond and from our families of divine, anchoring it here in this physical body, vehicle, this body suit. We are grounded here with energy going into Gaia as partnering with Gaia, connecting to the newly formed wise woman mycelium that has all of the nature and qualities of the fungi mycelium with the added energy of absolute protection so that it can in no way be co-opted. Is held in that sacred, secure space of sovereignty, connected to the divine, connected to Gaia, with us pillars, receiving, giving through that network also. So we are each here in the circle whose intention is to hold decree that all energy coming from agendas of domination of any kind, the agenda, the creators of the agenda, the broadcasting and networking from those agendas are removed from our space, galactic space, Laniakea space, into an extinction process prepared for them. We are in no way tolerating, normalizing, surviving through those energies at all. And we hold the clarity that it is those energies that have divided, entrapped, dominated, violated star beings of light. With those energies made extinct, our light, our creativity, the magnificence of who we are as beings of light, what is possible within the field of home here will quickly manifest into the beauty that is us. So with that declaration, we anchor for ourselves, all on Earth mission, for Gaia and all of her creations, our divine star families from beyond. And this is our stand today. And so it is. So let's put ourselves into the circle. We've been putting ourselves in by our name, where we are on the planet, the quality of what I'll say your presence, which is that candle, that light. I'm getting a piece of paper to the right. So in this circle, in this field, there's also already everything possible that's good. But because of our presence, there's a difference. It's different kind of orchestra being sung, different broadcasting going out. And I like to do it consciously, not just because our presence is enough, but what is that presence? So let's put in the quality too, that I am a presence of, as we put ourselves in a circle. So our candles, our presence, the light and the broadcasting resonating from our light of clarity, joy, building anew with love, understanding, and implementation. By intention, we magnify that frequency a millionfold and send it from our place on the planet into all the rest of humanity, male psyche, female psyche, and for Gaia also. And so we are here. So I wanted to kind of recap a little bit again where we are. When last October 7th, Saturday, October 7th, I was absolutely in bed, not able to hardly function. It had been growing up and down since the Tuesday before. I, of course, did my energy work, but I was not a well person. And I had a sermon to give October 8th at the Shoreline Unitarian Universalist Church. And that required me getting up at 7 in the morning, being ready to go on the road down there, and I could hardly function. So the 7th, I was out of it, didn't eat, didn't drink, kind of moved a little bit. Kept doing, Cook's hookup to keep whatever was going on in my system balanced. At my age, as you know, I'm not moving into dementia, for example. So I pay real close attention to brain work. And I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and get downstairs. And I realize I am extremely lightheaded, extremely lightheaded. I've never felt that lightheaded, a strange kind of lightheaded, not dizziness, not headache, not ringing. There's lightheaded from like here up. And I went, of course you are. You haven't eaten or had anything to drink for days. What are you thinking? And so I'm making a protein drink. That's quick. I can get protein drink in me, do my shower, get on the road. And the next thing I know, the protein, the water is all over my bed, my pajamas, on the counter, on the floor. I assumed I'd spilled it. So quickly I'm cleaning it up and don't have time to do it all. I know it's going to take a little bit more than what I can do. Leave a note for my daughter that says, be careful, clean up after your mom here. And I go in to take my shower. And as I'm shampooing, I realize my head is a big ache on the back of my head. And I realized now what I had done is I had literally collapsed, hit my head on the floor, didn't even know it, didn't feel it, remember it. And I woke up as I had gotten back up to the counter. So for me, I was doing the protein drink, and then the protein drink was all over me. This was October 8th. And my speech at the UU church was all about what is the vision that you are getting? What is your inner voice calling you to? Because we need your inner voice, your inner vision. You see? And made it safely there, safely home. And then I realized later in the day, maybe, or the next day, was when I realized that Hamas had bombed Israel Saturday. And here I am on Sunday without knowing it. I'm telling these people in this audience, the world's a mess. What is your calling? What are you called to do? I don't even know that Israel has been bombed or invaded or whatever the name was. I didn't know. And yet I'm saying to these people, what are you to do? What's your calling? And when I ask, why was that happening for me as I'm going through it? Why is that happening for me? I'm being told, stop what you're doing. There's something else you need to do. Stop what you're doing. There's something else you need to do. That was kind of a Friday, Thursday. I'm telling the people, what's your calling? What do you need to do? And that's how this event came to be. So this is not an event, of course, that I thought about, planned for. But when I stopped and got myself back healthy, it was like, what is it I'm called to? And they said, you do the 7-day event. And you do the 7-day event based on what you know about energy. Because I've been in circles for the last month or two where women are coming together. What can they do? What can we do? What can we do? And I keep saying to them, what you're doing is great. And upstream is where the answer lies to get rid of the problem, the seed, the cause, upstream. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're doing the processes that have evolved and been created from the information that I call the ancient ones gave me beginning in 1989 when I said, why is the world cycling in such pain? Little bit out, crash, little bit out, crash, little bit out, crash. We had the ascension movement going on in 89, 90. We had people be warning to get into a safe place, 89, 90. Same thing's happening today. Let's get to the 5th dimension. Let's do ascension work. And Hamas bombs is in Israel. And so the same thing is up for me. What is the cause? And so for me, having asked that question in 89 and being shown what is the problem in the galactic worlds, in our divine star family worlds, what lies have we been living in, because you cannot solve a problem if you believe that we are living in love and that's all there is. If you believe that love is all there is on this planet, you will never be free, because love is not all that is on the planet. We have dominators on the planet who have hidden from us, diverted and blamed Black people, immigrants, Jews, whites, women as the problem. Humanity's the cancer on the planet, when it's not. Humanity's not the problem. Outsiders are the problem. So that's why I said, okay, I'm going to do in the way based on my knowledge, what is around the bend upstream and how can we address it? That's why we claimed our presence. That's why we set the intention of not surviving and hiding our life to be safe, but to extinction's the answer for me. And where are the conclaves, not only of outsiders, but of pain? Because when you are locked into the trauma pain, you're going to repeat it's going to keep showing up in your life, your children's life, and the world. So that's why we went back. When we went back to the original star beings who came in physical vehicles, that this is an earth suit, they did great. That power is still there. And taking and working with them, moving forward to circles of women who had already been unplugged from their power, the energy system, the chakra system, and didn't realize it till they tried to stand up to an outsider, and the outsiders laughed in their face and roared them down. So we went back and we saw that place and that village and that pain, and then put it in the black box, freeze frame it. They don't have to keep feeling it, while we went back in time to get back to that healthy, bringing it forward and initiating everyone in the Sophia activating that electrical system, our chakras again, in what it ought to be, so that they had the voice, so that when we came back to that painful village where they were hiding their gifts in nature, and we could say to them, great idea, but no, that's not the answer. The answer is, we have now plugged you back into authority. So we stand with you to say, outsiders will never invade our village, will never taint our family. No. And stood with them, so that that energy opened up a portal, a flow that had never been there before, because it was a clear conduit from the beginning of our mission right through that timeline to open new possibilities. And then we went back to gather the pain bodies, because we had to have a way to keep the pain from killing us. And so we stored the pain in our bodies, so we can gathered up that pain energy, like the clouds of the pain, say you've done the job. So you don't have to hold it any longer and dissipate the pain, you see? And part of that was releasing contracts that have existed from at least 200,000 years ago and repeated at various times, where women who loved each other in sister circles but said, I will keep you small, you keep me small. Pull me down if I get too smart pants. I'll pull you down, because we have to be small and let go and release those contracts. So that is, we're applying in these 7 days the information that I was given, that I've tried and put on over the years and found extremely effective. Working with teams whom I've worked with and my clients and students have worked with over the years have found extremely powerful and present for us. And worked with processes that can be activated at a word. So when I say black box, when I say deep six, when I say six-fold cocoon, that means a lot that we don't go into here. We're applying something, and you're here on a trust walk. You're here on a trust walk. It reminds me of a time when I was in 84, when I was in Boise, Idaho, and I was still in a patriarchal religion. And something happened, and I went, you know what? I think there's more to learn, that I can learn better, more, if I step out of that religion. And I met a fellow, director of the research department at Boise State University. I started to go to a class he had, and then a lecture he had. I didn't know and understand what in the heck he was talking about, but the power of something, I knew it was important. So I would go and I would listen, and I wouldn't know, walk away like, I don't know what that meant, but that was good. And it was probably about 4 years later when I moved to Boise, and we became good friends. And I was sitting with him over coffee and pie, which we did often. And I said, you know what's really kind of scary to me right now, Richard? And he said, what's that? I said, you know, when I first listened to you and we first chatted, I said, I had no idea what you were talking about, what it meant. But I knew it was important, so I kept coming back. And he's laughing. And I said, what's kind of scary is I understand it now. So there's a trust walk you guys are on, because you know a little bit of what this means, but then there's maybe some of it that you don't know, and you keep showing up. But there's something deeper with everything we've shared in these 6 days, and you have access to the simplest of activating things and trying it on. So with that in mind, I think I had mentioned I was during Memorial Day, I was invited to go to gathering of indigenous elders from around the world. And I'd never done that before. I mean, I've gone to powwows before, but this was an intentional gathering of elders. And they came from Greenland, they came from Australia, from Sierra Nevada, Sierra Madre with Mamos. I mean, they came from all over the place, as well as here in this country. And they were really excited. They've held prophecies, as you well know, prophecies of the 13 tribes, or the rainbow tribes coming together. The rainbow tribes. They've held the prophecy of the eagle and the condor flying together north and south as a symbol of peace. And of course, again, they're hopeful that maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time. And as I'm listening to them, and I know the information I've been given about, especially as it relates to the crippling of women and that impact, I know that information that I would have been shown about women is a critical piece of bringing together the rainbow tribe and allowing the condor and eagle to fly north and south together safely. And it's a similar information that says we now, as each of us can be the light in the world, we can follow our inner voice and we can be safe in this day. And why that is and how to walk it is what's so important, because until that happened, it was never safe to bring the rainbow tribe together. It was never safe for the eagle and the condor to fly together, because the dominators would shoot us out of the sky. And you guys know that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you a story. This is what they do at the gatherings. I mean, they have presenters like we do in the white communities. You know, they have presenters where here's an auditorium and here's a speaker, and people don't show up for much of that, because that's not how they do it. They're walking around on the grounds and they see somebody and they say, I want to hear your story. Okay. And a group sits down on the grass with somebody in a chair who's probably older, and the older tells the story. And that's that way they do things. And so I didn't know that. And so I get there and I see these circles all over the grounds. And I, very respectful, I'm not going to go up and sit down because I'm not invited in. You know what I mean? So I missed out on a lot of the stories because I didn't know the format. So anyway, I am going to tell you a story that is a really important story to hear and to work with in the way of that we've been doing for these last 6 days, in order for, in our lives, even if it just begins in your life and the lives of those you touch, bringing the rainbow community together, which is the diversity, the differences, the gifts. Because right now we've been living in and still live in a world of what they call, I think, appropriation. So if a white person loved drumming, for example, they would be, in some circles, they would be chastised for appropriating drumming, which was not their right, because that's this tribe's right. You guys know what I'm talking about? And so this ethnic group has the right to the drumming, and this ethnic group has the right to the magic, and this group has the right to the healing. You know what I mean? And it's a division. The Rainbow Tribe says, "Let me teach you drumming. Can I learn magic from you?" We start to share our gifts, but it hasn't been safe to do so. Okay, so here goes the story. You can close your eyes if you want to feel like a journey, or you can just be with me. So we're going to go back in time. That's where things began. Nothing new in this lifetime. Nothing new in my early childhood or the early childhood of my children. Not anything new even in in the early childhood of my grandmothers. So we're going to go back very, very far. We've already gone back to that time where Earth mission volunteers, some in female bodysuit, some in male bodysuit, landed onto the planet in various places. So we'll call them little villages. And each little village community was in an Earth vehicle designed by ourselves. Divine Family designed these vehicles. The best we could figure out how something could, that was more physical, we'll say, physical, slowed down energy to allow our soul body, our soul energy field to move around on the planet. So those vehicles were all the same, pretty much the same. We could see them maybe as the Neanderthals. That was the 600,000 years ago, and that is a good time frame. So the way the bodysuit itself looked is maybe not what it looks like today, but the color of the skin, the type of hair, the way we telepathically communicated with one another, the way we learned to move arms and legs and move around, learning how to see energy as formed. That was our beginning. And we had clear remembrance of how to initiate that mission. So those in female bodies, grounded to the earth, brought in the energy of life right into the body, stretched into the body itself, moved arms and legs, but anchored to the earth, because this field of intelligence we call Gaia is also a presence. We are here with you. Thank you for letting us work out our problems on your surface. We will take good care of you. And we intended to. And the air, so our energy went straight from Divine Family into the bodysuit, right down the midline, feet on the on Gaia. I'm here, and then into a space she had prepared, like a great, wonderful council fire. So we spent time with each other in circle in that amazing place of Gaia. To design, to think about, maybe deciding to move the village around a little bit, try this, that place, that place. It was all up to those in female bodies until they went, okay, this is a good place. This is where I want to design a village, a garden, everything to make our mission force stable and thriving. And that got done. Village after village after village. And they communicated with each other through the ethers, because that's how we always had done it. And so the males were here to hold energy coming from the divine, anchoring it through their crown chakra down into their heart, the power of their heart, to input codes, unseen codes, blessing codes, and let that blessed energy of home flow out into the village. So they would sit maybe in meditation, sitting by the side of the stream, looking like they were doing nothing. because their bodysuit was owned by the parasitics and was monitored by the parasitics. So we did exactly what the plan had said we were to do. And there the villages were. And those women are who we have access to, their strength, their power, their energy to bring forward throughout time into now here we are. But that's them. You see, they're one. They're look. They might even look a little bit like clones because they have the same kind of bodysuit, even though the soul energy was unique. They were all committed to good and the mission. And there was unification, creativity, joy and happiness and dance and song and beauty. And what is it you love? And that's created. So we're just going to ask that those villages be awakened wherever they were on the planet, awakened so that their candles, their presence, be magnified, activated a millionfold. Because in the moment, the present moment is where there's power. The authority within a female voice is where there's power. So we activate their presence. And now we're going to go to a trouble spot. A trouble spot that was created with all best intentions, but now helps to cripple the interaction of women, which then cripples their power to free humanity. Just blessing our original mother, father, male, females, light that they are. We're going to just move forward in time. If you want to take a winged one and fly there, if you want to walk the journey, you are totally guided. We come forward to a circle of women who have met in their sacred space outside their village, place where they go regularly to discuss and to design and to evaluate and to encourage, because that's their job. But as we approach the village this time, their circle, they are in great sorrow and concern. Because they in this village, like the women in many of the villages, have been hearing through the ethers a force on the planet that absolutely rolls over those in female bodysuits, has no respect, has no need or requirement to honor their voice, and they are destroying the good. And that is a warning that's been going out many villages, and we saw that yesterday in one. Each circle of women came up with solutions that laid a foundation that have been in place for some 300,000 years. 300,000 years. And is still effective in our world today. So here is a circle of women, and they are speaking with one another, and they are saying and sharing the pieces that they're getting through the ethers. And what it seems like to them is that it is the gifts, the abilities, the assignment that the women carry that the outsiders are after. They are after the magic, the creativity, the alchemy, the healing, the blessing, the magic. They are after those gifts. So they are targeting those in female bodies as they come into the village to cripple their energy, weaken their boundaries, and make tentacles through the boundaries into the centers of power and skill, and use that as their own. And they know how very, very dangerous that is, not just for the women, but for the communities. So this circle of women come to the conclusion they are going to, first of all, stay small. That's important. Yes, important. But they are going to put the multiplicity of their gifts in the center of the field, because every woman has access to all of the gifts and can use whichever she wants in the moment. So they put the multiplicity of the gifts into the field, like diverting them, divesting them from themselves, like energetic software programs, into the center of the circle. And each woman in the circle will choose one gift, one program, and she will take it as hers to a safeguard and pass down in safe ways in her children, especially her daughters, granddaughters, great-granddaughters. And it would be safeguarded, protected within her lineage. So alchemy, the ability to turn lead into gold, make things change, matter change, becomes cooking. It has to look innocuous. It has to look of no value. So alchemy becomes cooking. And she will preserve alchemy gift within her recipes, within her teachings, within preparing things with prayer. And that's how she will pass it down. It will look totally innocuous to the outsider, of no value to them, but it will keep the gift safe. So creativity, the ability to manifest quickly, might become songs. The ability to sing and dance, you see. So one by one, each woman comes forward, takes a gift. This is what I will preserve within my lineage. I will safeguard it. No one will take it from us, and we will pass it on. And then two women come forward. There's always two. And they say, we are taking no gifts. We are going into the world naked, so that we will have not even a hint of feminine abilities, power, and authority. Not even a hint. Because we will go into places like spies to find out what happened. What can we do? How do we reverse it? We will look for answers. And we must look sometimes exactly like the invader. And we do this by choice, because we must find the key. We must find the reason. You sisters keep the gifts safe. We will search for answers. And if and when we find that answers, we'll call you together, give you the key, remove the outsiders, And then the gifts can be freely shared again because you've preserved them. So a great deal of that appropriation is that contract from the ancient times. It says, don't touch drumming. Don't touch magic. Only I and my family can have that. It was true until now. So you see, many things that women have done in the past have been to survive. Have they caused great pain? Yes. Have they allowed trauma? Yes. But the goal was we had to survive, those of us in female bodies. We had to preserve that female body until a time when we could restore what had been unplugged. So now we're going to go into the story itself. Remember imagination. So now you and I, the women in original bodysuits, come forward. And realize in that circle, we do not have white, black, yellow, and red. That hasn't happened yet. We are of one type of bodysuit, an earth suit. So the diversity of color came after that. So we come into the circle and we say, we have watched you, sisters, with your magnificent discussions, your great intentions. We are here. Here are your great grandmothers from the past with their strength. And here we are from the future, those of us, and us thus in white skin, who went naked into the world. So it's no accident that we white skinned women are here to say we have the key. We have discovered the key. And the key is activated by Sophia. And we invite the Sophia Collective Circle of Sisters to surround them, to surround and be part of us. And as each of the sisters in that 300,000 year ago circle are embraced by one of the ancient ones, by us here, and by this a Sophia Circle sister, they weep. It has not been easy. Divisiveness has not been easy. Being silent and light turned down has not been easy. Now again, Sophia comes forward. We realize it was the chakra system, the unfoldment system of the 15 original chakras that were crippled. So Sophia comes forward, and it's like bringing forward a technical engineer who can add software program. And each of the Sophia sisters leans forward and touches third eye to third eye. We are part of that, and we touch third eye to third eye. We say we are here to activate and restore. And an energy moves through the Sophia sisters into the circle of sisters. The ancient sisters from the past hold the space, and their energy of truth activates a circle, a container around the circle. And the Sophia continues, and each Sophia sister places her hand on the solar plexus area, the area of design, of bringing forth, of creativity, and then of discernment, activating the power center of discernment, Sophia. An entirely new electrical system is activated. New, which is the old, which is the original, which is as it was intended. Electrical system opens and opens, places her other hand on the heart to activate the heart of giving in the safety of discernment. No longer to serve without discernment, but only to serve with the power and protection of Sophia. Sophia Sisters place a cloak, a shawl, a necklace, a crown of aquamarine color on each of her sisters as a symbol of that Sophia. The circle begins to move with one another, move in this new energy. And the women feel the sacred, and the protected, and the sovereignty. And in that moment, the gifts that had been hidden within ethnicities, hidden within a lineage, is brought forward and now in the field, and they are activated to be used, taught, refined in every female body, every female body, available to everyone in a female body. These are the female gifts. And in that moment, freeze the way as we send that energy vortex forward in time. It is the stream within which the rainbow tribes are united. United in their each chosen gift, power, vision of all good. And then we call in the tag collective, Laniakea collective healers. From this moment that we have just corrected, forward in time, that old timeline held in the Akashic records, in unconscious and consciousness, all that old pain is identified and gathered. It had to be stored in order for us to live, but it is no longer necessary. All storage is opened and placed in the hands of cosmic composting, blessing back to light, releasing back to light, enriched. And then the three of us from the future ask if we can move that energy forward, bring those trails of change and power and strength and unity and Sophia forward in time with us, so that it covers, enriches, and has direct connection, so energy flow from the past of strength can be present in our world today. We ask permission that we do that. And hear the voice of those women. As you bring yourself forward in time, trailing clouds of glory, truth, depth of unity into your present moment, and holding yourself as the pillar, holding that power of the past, truth and glory, clarity and power, creativity, magnificence, and bless it out into the world. Bless it out into the world. Knowing that you have been an integral part of this new channel, of these new connections, of the new relationships. Don't let them go. Listen for their voices as they listen for yours. Because you have a gift, a calling, a delight, a beauty to bring into our world today on this galactic landscape. And you're not alone. And you're not playing in the mud of domination. So when you're ready, breathe yourself back to this time, this circle, and this place. And open your eyes and be back present. So for the next couple of minutes that we have, just open up the space for anything that you would like to place an anchor in. A word or two maybe of your experience or what you want to explore more. And let's do that before we put the circle to rest until tomorrow.
On this journey, I really got the sense that, it sounds simplistic, but it's really about the timelines. It's really about not getting stuck in this one. And you hear about timelines being distorted by the dominators, being hidden from us, being distorted, history being distorted, bastardized, hidden. And this is a way around and through all that. So it really is about the timelines and bringing forward what we want to bring forward, changing the past timeline, bringing the new forward and anchoring that. But the timelines has a lot to do with it, all this work. Thank you for that journey.
It's so amazing about timelines. I am sort of one of a number of girlfriends who haven't retired. And the reason I hadn't retired is because I thought there's no better time for me to continue doing what I've learned and what I know to do. And most of my clients think that I'm designing something for their real estate portfolio, but what they don't know is I'm going in and figuring out how to heal the communities. And they pay me to have the joy of bringing in the art and the creativity and put the positive energy to clear the land, to do those things. And I thought, this is the time where that needs to be done more. My work was cut off I haven't made a dime since COVID started. And I know it's because there's something so huge and so big that I'm called to do. I can't possibly be aligned with anything that isn't of an absolutely great intention and vision to go forward. And that I'm supposed to be preparing right now for whatever that big thing is. It's just so clear. I loved your story today. It was absolutely perfect. And for some reason, as soon as you said something about in the thing, my notifications, which I usually have turned on, are pinging like crazy. And I can tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be this weird tribe of people that are around that are wanting to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's delightful. It's so amazing. It's just,
I've come to the same conclusion. I'm in support of a lot of really good things going on out there, but I have to be with people who are willing to learn, apply, change the world in a more powerful way, like what we're doing. And
right.
and so it's really an honor to be able to be with those of us who've been in circle, because that's the kind of women you are. I think I said this. I knew I had to stop everything for a while, and thought I would be picking up the courses again in January. But I think I'm going to begin the information of the galactic landscape. I mean, that's where we need to build. And we've been building, trying to get ourselves going in the mud of cultural domination. We've been struggling here, and that will continue for some. But what is the galactic landscape? Where is that platform? They often talk about another world. Where is it? It's off planet, but it's the galactic landscape, and everything on the galactic landscape is in support of what we are wanting for our lives and our children's lives. And so playing on that field where there's the laws are there, the teams are there, the concepts are there, the groups are there, it requires that different box. So you don't have to figure it out. And now you can just and we can be there together. So definitely I want to play. That's what I want to play with those beings. Okay. Thank you so much. And tomorrow,
Beautiful.